Good morning and welcome to Wake Up with Wolv, U of M's only morning news show. I'm Sarah Ponsek.
And I'm Ryan McDonough. We have a great show for you today.
And you're in for a treat because we have two local musicians, Alex and Cody, here to perform for us. But first, here's Scott with the weather.
Hi, I'm meteorologist Scott Leffler. We've seen a lot of precipitation in the state of Michigan today, but for the first time in a long time, that precipitation is not snow, it's rain, for now. As we see here, there's a lot of precipitation in the state of Michigan, but mostly just rain showers that we're going to see, light amount of rain. The more interesting stuff is in the Ohio Valley and down into Kentucky. As we see down here, we're going to have a nice line of severe storms, some nice strong, maybe some hail, nice thunderstorms moving into the state of Kentucky, perhaps an omen that the Wildcats are finally going to lose. So now as we look and see how the fronts are shaping up right now, we're going to see them tied to this rain that we had here. As we see, we have this nice cold front coming down right here, right around the region that had a lot of precipitation and a lot of storms. And this is connected to this nice low pressure cell up here in Canada. And as we look at how this is going to evolve into Friday, we're going to see that this low is going to come down. We're going to have a nice broad region of cold front. And a cold front, which unfortunately has the word cold in it, meaning that there's going to be cold air coming in behind it. And we just can't get enough cold air, can we? And as we see how it's going to shape up into our weekend towards Saturday, we're going to see that cold front start to get out of our region just a little bit, move towards the Atlantic, and we're going to see a nice area of broad high pressure right about here. We're going to start to move into our region, which is going to clear up those skies for a little bit, give us some nice sunshine, but unfortunately, it's going to be cold yet again. So as we look at how the things are going to look up for 36 hours out, we're going to see today we had a lot of rain. It wasn't pleasant, but most of the day it was overcast, showers, had a high of 63, so decently warm. But tonight we're going to dip down towards about 41, almost approaching the 30, into the 30s. And we're going to have rain showers, possibly some thunderstorms, so don't be surprised if you roll over in bed and hear a rumble of thunder every once in a while. And tomorrow, yet again, we're going to have more rain, but not so much in the morning, more so in the afternoon, and a high of about 56 degrees, so not terribly cold yet, but it's going to get there. As we look at our 5-day forecast here, we're going to see today, or tomorrow, Friday, again, rain, high of about 56, so not terrible. And then Saturday, that high pressure is going to come into our area, which I said is going to have that clearing effect in the skies. And it's going to be very sunny. Saturday also happens to be the Michigan spring football game, where we're going to see Jim Harbaugh's Wolverines for the first time. And it's going to be sunny. Coincidence? I think not. And then the clouds are slowly going to come back into our region. Sunday, we're going to have mostly cloudy skies. Monday, we're going to have cloudier skies. And Tuesday, we're going to have rain. And all the temperatures are pretty similar, low to mid 50s. So not terribly cold, but again, it's not the spring warm weather that we would like. So unfortunately, that's what we're going to have in the next 5 days. But hopefully it'll warm up again soon. Ryan and Sarah, back to you.
I'm not gonna lie, to me, even though there's rain, that's warmer than it's been all winter. I'm pretty excited for this.
It is. I mean, it's warm outside, but it's definitely wet. I walked outside today to get my friend's soup because she's sick, and I got poured on. I mean, drenched.
Oh, man. Okay, moving on into local stories. Every year, the University of Michigan recognizes a professor who had an important impact on both the community of Ann Arbor and students through the Golden Apple Award. It is entirely voted for by students who earlier in the year nominate professors they feel are deserving of the award. This year, the Golden Apple went to Professor Stephen Stroop, a clinical associate professor in the School of Nursing and Department of Psychiatry. He accepted the award to an almost full-capacity Rackham Auditorium. Now, in tradition of past winners, he gave a special lecture. His speech was entitled Lessons from an Imperfect Life, a Premature Last Lecture, and included a dozen life lessons. Much of his speech focused on his own personal history of abuse and recovery from drug and alcohol addiction. The 12 life lessons and more information on the award can be found on the University of Michigan's Alumni Association's website.
And just beating the team by 5 votes, Michigan has won the Central Student Government election for the second year in a row. Cooper Charlton, LSA Jr., and sophomore Stephen Halprin will be CSG's president and vice president for next year. Michigan's platform includes improving lighting off campus, improving diversity at Michigan, and promoting of SEED faculty training. However, litigation for both parties is pending due to email violations, and if both teams are found guilty for the email violations, they could be disqualified, giving the election to the Defend Affirmative Action Party.
Last year, many students remember the campus being divided on the issue of divestment. The main debate is whether or not the school should withdraw money invested in certain companies that do business with Israel, specifically ones that some students feel promote violence with Palestine. Historically, the term was rooted in Michigan back when apartheid was still the law in South Africa. Students successfully convinced the university to divest from companies that supported apartheid. This year, students once again introduced a resolution to CSG on the topic of divestment. They wanted to set up an ad hoc committee to investigate the university's investments in companies that allegedly facilitate human rights violations against Palestinians. The resolution failed to pass with a vote of 15 in favor and 25 opposed. There's one abstention. A roll call vote determined that the vote on the resolution would be public instead of a secret ballot.
And home to the WolvTV studios right here where we're sitting now, North Quad was named one of the 30 most luxurious student housing buildings in America by Best College Values. This beautiful dorm is listed as number 17, and BCV said amenities like bike routes, learning communities, and WolvTV studios and lounges with high-tech video conference technologies helped North Quad make the list. Currently, the dorm houses 450 non-freshman students, and it also is home to 4 units of LSNA and the School of Information. There is also a 180-seat dining hall, but after South Quad's $60 million upgrade and dining hall renovation, we will have to wait until next year's list to come out to see who takes the top rank. Now, we really are so lucky because North Quad it's beautiful.
I mean, to me, it's the perfect mix of academic environment, but also has housing and the fact it has classrooms and studios. I mean, but I think, though, next year, South Quad, I think they're going to beat them.
We'll see. We'll definitely see. We're going to take a quick commercial break, but stick around.
I think there's a show today.
We should probably roll Tide. This cake is delicious.
Let's do it live.
Welcome back. Moving on to world news. When most people think of the company Tesla, they first picture electric cars. Well, the CEO of Tesla, Elon Musk, this week unveiled a new product that they are developing, and no, it is not a car. Well, not exactly. It's called the Hyperloop. Now picture an old mailroom with those air ducts that sucks letters to various floors. Musk wants a massive system that resembles a monorail in a large tube that can link the world. He claims that the technology would be able to let people travel from New York to LA in 45 minutes and even to Beijing in 2 hours. He was inspired to join those developing the Hyperloop after learning of California's new plan for updating their own railway system. California's plan will cost over $70 billion and will take years to construct. Musk realized that there's a better solution that's faster and cheaper. The concept is still in the prototype stage.
And then there were 4. Our favorite time of year, March Madness, is upon us, and teams have been fighting with their lives to win the national title. The 4 teams left are Kentucky, Wisconsin, Michigan State, and Duke, and each have their own story. Kentucky, a number 1 seed, is currently undefeated, 38-0, and is on a mission to make history as the first undefeated college basketball team since 1976. Wisconsin, also a number 1 seed, is in its 2nd consecutive Final Four, and Michigan State, which is a 7th seed, and Duke is headed by Coach Mike Krzyzewski, who is his 12th Final Four. The games will be aired Saturday on TBS, and Michigan State will first play Duke at 6 p.m. Wisconsin will after face Kentucky at 8:30 p.m. Good luck with your brackets, everyone. That is, if they're not already ruined.
I know mine is. Earlier this year, Wake Up with Wolf, like many other shows, reported that Jon Stewart would be leaving The Daily Show. This week, his replacement is finally announced. Trevor Noah, a South African comedian, will officially replace Stewart in late 2015 or early 2016. Noah has been a contributing reporter to The Daily Show since December 2014. Some controversy occurred, though, when fans accused Noah of tweeting jokes that were anti-Semitic and sexist. Now, Comedy Central and many other famous comedians quickly came to the defense of Noah, claiming the jokes were taken out of context and it is impossible to not offend anyone. Noah himself joined the defense, arguing that a handful of tweets out of over 9,000 were unfair to pick on and no one should imply anything about his character. Comedy Central also saw Larry Wilmore this year replace Stephen Colbert with the creation of The Nightly Show with Larry Wilmore. Now, personally, I was when I went to look out more information about this guy, I was surprised to see there was a controversy. I mean, I think they're just trying to create a controversy over nothing.
Honestly, they could be trying to build up some hype around him, but I mean, I love the show. I love Jon Stewart, and I really think that there's a lot of potential in Trevor Noah.
Me too. And actually, Patton Oswalt, amongst other comedians, his defense was really funny. He did 54 tweets, where the first tweet was a joke, and then each subsequent tweet was apologizing to a group it possibly could have offended. And
That's
slowly
really
got
funny.
more and more ridiculous. And
That's
the point of
awesome.
it was to show in comedy, someone's always going to be offended, and you know what? Their loss. But we're going to go to a quick commercial, and when we come back, I'm here with local musicians Alex and Cody.
It's time to wake up with Wolv.
It's time to wake up with Wolv.
Ready for mic check? Ready? Take one.
And welcome to Wake Up with Wolv at 11 a.m., the 8 a.m. of college life. Well, April Fools, because Alex and Cody aren't going to be playing until a little later in the show. But as we all know, yesterday was April Fool's Wednesday. And in the past, some Michigan students have even played some of their own jokes. Now, there's this first video where you'll see a little brawl in the middle of a lecture. Let's take a look.
And now for my escape, for there is no one here to stop me! And take that first, you fool kid. You, sir, will just have to come down here and kill me for it. Fine proposition.
So that was very funny, but I will say that was so obviously staged. That is not a true April Fool's joke.
Well, I mean, it's obviously staged, but in the middle of your lecture, if this were to happen, I mean, I would personally be excited. It'd be,
Oh, I would laugh, but like the professor was in on it. I think half the fun is if the professor is not in on the joke.
do you definitely think that the professor is in on it?
Oh yeah, there's all those cameras going on. No way.
Probably. But in the same line as professors, even entire schools have tried to play April Fool's jokes, even the engineering school. So let's take a look at this one.
When you're dealing with nanotechnology, a lot of really strange things all of a sudden seem possible or even natural. For the time being, we're trying to avoid calling it invisibility. In the future, I think we can envision a type of product that you could legitimately call invisibility, but I think you're going to see that there are certain distortions in the light that make it roughly visible, so we're calling it cloaking right now. Visible light, the wavelength of visible light is on the order of nanometers. Nanoparticles are on the right scale to sort of interact with that and manipulate it. In principle, it's actually possible to get an object that will guide light around itself. The sphere is this sort of easiest shape to do. Now, it's important to get the droplet size right since this is sort of a surface area effect, so that's why we're using this atomizer. Of course, it takes a while for the students to get the technique down.
Now, what I think makes this so great is that they have actual professors in it, students in coats that make them look so legitimate, and also they're using technical terms.
See, I remember when this came out, and you watched that, you're like, okay, that sounds smart. Like, I'm going with that.
I would have loved to have an invisibility, oh gosh,
Oh,
I can't
man,
even
yeah,
think.
well-
An invisibility cloak spray. I mean, that would be great.
But I don't know. I think it could lead some pretty, maybe some more better April Fool's jokes, like hiding the cameras
Probably.
in that last video. That was
Yeah.
clearly staged.
But we're going to take a quick commercial break, and now when we come back, Ryan's going to be speaking with Alex and Cody.
Ultimate Sports Show on Wolv TV. Don't change that dial.
I'm here with Cody and Alex, two local musicians who are here today to tell us a little bit about their music. Guys, thank you for joining us today.
Of course.
So to start things off, what separates you from other musicians?
Well, I think a big part, I would say the friendship that we have. I mean, I think a lot of the most successful bands and ones that we like, they're all friends before they're musicians. So a lot of the hard questions of who does what, it's all very based on feels. So I think that also carries into our live performance because every time we perform, it's different. There's a lot of improvisation. We draw on a whole plethora of influences. Everyone's influences are different. So it really just makes everything, I think diversity would be a good word to describe it.
So maybe can you just run through me, what's your writing process like for writing music?
Well, so there's a lot of different projects that we're involved in currently. I would say for the stuff that we're doing with our friend Brent, who couldn't be here today, it's very democratic. A lot of the songs come out of improvisation. So like we'll just get together in our apartment and Cody could come in and be like, hey, there's this piano chord progression I have, and then I really like it, and then we'll take it and add something to it.
Yeah, we all have him and my friend Brent are both trained musicians. I taught myself a lot of it. But we all have similar interests in a wide variety of genres, and we always try to just mix them together. One time we'll be we'll make a really hip hoppy song, and the next time we'll be really jazzy.
Yeah.
So it's usually all over the place, and
But the vibe is the one thing that really holds it together. So you always know it's us.
Yeah, and we can always backpack off each other. If he comes with me with a guitar chord progression, I'll be like, oh, I think these keys would go really well over it, or it needs this drum beat, and it just kind of all fuses together in this I don't know, one of our good friends produces music, and every time we show him one of the songs we've been writing, he's like, this is insanely, this is 5 different genres in 2 minutes. How did you do that?
We just, we don't really, and I would say for my solo stuff that I work on too, it's a very different thing. Because when you collaborate with other people, they keep you in check, the ego is not involved as much. When you're doing something yourself, it's a lot more internal, and for me personally, I always write the music first. The words come after. A lot of, there's other people out there who will sit there and write a poem and then set it to music. So it's definitely a really personal thing. And I think that when we come together and write songs for our collaborative project, we all have different styles of writing. So that's what kind of makes this whole the end product is just so unique and just so, it's really hard to put a finger on it. When someone asks us what genre do you play, we're kind of we literally just there's no one word to describe it. It's I love and hate the the use of genres in music, because it's a great way to categorize yourself with a community, but it's also just it's very hard to generalize yourself to a term,
Kind of going off of that, so the music industry is obviously changing a lot today. So there's a big focus now on live performances versus say more recordings. So I guess maybe personally in your experience, what do you find is more valuable and what do you guys try to focus on?
I think there's value in both, because you want to have a really nice studio recording of a song that you've written with your we want a good version that we can send to people and be this is something that we created and we want it to sound really good. But another thing he was saying earlier is that we're really big into improv.
Yeah.
So we could have a really nice studio recording and play it at in a live performance, and then at the end go into this jam with whatever vibes we're feeling that day and kind of create a new version of the song that's unique to the experience, which is really cool, because we might do the same thing for a show the next week but do a different jam. So it's kind of you're there and you have this jam and it's wow, this is amazing, but going off of the song that artists we know and love, but it's this new version that's amazing.
And that's, I mean, you guys will get that today, because it's sometimes we have a bass player and a drummer, and then me and my friend Brent are on guitar, and he's on keyboard, or today he's going to be drumming and I'm just on guitar, so that will be really different. I think another big part of it on the live music side is every audience you have is different. Every day is different. The weather is different. We're going to go off that vibe. Whereas when you have a recording, it's capturing a single moment, and the vibe in that moment might not be the same as when you're performing. So as much as the recording is really important, I would say at the end of the day, especially now how the model of the music industry is changing, live performances are really important. It's how you draw the community that is going to embody your music and bring you to greater heights.
It's also, if you have a great live show and can improv and do cool things that aren't on the studio things. It draws people who maybe haven't heard your studio recordings. They'd be like, oh, I want to go and like find that. Like, I want to go listen to them because they threw a great live show. It's not just
And
it's
even
more
in the
interesting.
recording process, like, you know, there's different ways of recording. I really like to do it live. Even if you're gonna go back and put more layers on after, like one of the songs we're gonna play today from my solo project, the core of it was done live, and then the rest was added on afterwards. But it's really to really let a song breathe and be the way it's gonna be in the live performance, and to try to capture that as much as you can on recording, you got to do it live, in my opinion.
So you're in the music school.
Yeah.
I know you're not.
Yeah.
But
pre-med.
but you guys, I know I've heard some of your stuff. You're pretty good. What are your goals? You know, where do you guys see yourself in a couple of years musically?
Well, for me, I mean, it's my major, so I'm kind of throwing all the cards out here.
How about together? Is that good?
Together, I mean, we always joke like Bonnaroo 2017.
Something like that, like, you know, festivals.
Yeah, we really want to play festivals, maybe around the world. But honestly, I think first, like, the United States is a huge country. It's such rich culture varying from state to state. I really just want to go around there. There's so many grassroots music movements like popping up everywhere, new festivals, and I just think that would be the funnest way to do it. I think really our like short-term goal is to be playing more shows, getting our music out to people, getting an album done.
Do you have any upcoming shows you guys can tell us about?
As of now, no. We just
Just
had a gig
today?
last week. Yeah, just today. I mean, as the weather's getting nicer, you're going to see us outside of Espresso Royale, right by like where the Diag starts on the South University side. When it's nice out, we'll go out there and we'll just jam for 3 hours. We might not even prepare anything, but it's just go off the vibes. Like, people will come up. This one girl last week or 2 weeks ago came up and freestyled with us. Incredible. We took her number and we're going to collab with her in the future. We've been invited to play at parties through that. So just, we're really trying to foster that sense of that music is not just about the people who are playing it. It's about the community. It's about just as much the audience and their enjoyment, and just that it's like a feedback loop of positivity.
Great. Well, we're excited. We're going to take a quick commercial break, but when we come back, Alex and Cody are playing some songs for us, so stick around.
For all of your campus news.
Reporting what matters.
Ann Arbor's only local newscast.
Newsfeed, a show run by students for students.
Wherever you go, go blue.
It's time to wake up with Wolv.
It's time to wake up with Wolv.
Ready for mic check? Ready, take one.
And welcome to Wake Up with Wolv at 11 a.m., the 8 a.m. of college life.
And Alex and Cody now are going to play a song for us. All you guys.
So this song is from my solo project. It's called Rest. It's probably going to be released sometime next week, so just look out for it. Search for Alex Greenside and music, because I'm not sure exactly what moniker I'll be going out under. So here's Rest.
Sunset in your head, not a direction. Your eyes, they tell me when. Your eyes, they tell me when. Mixed signals, yeah. They're racing through my head. The stars are shooting. And it's poison that you win. It's poison that you win. time I stop thinking, I save myself another sin. Tried out, but you're still there in your eyes, they tell me when. Sinking ship, been patching holes for years, so long that I forget the last time that we rested, the last time that we rested, the last time that we rested, the last time that we rested.
Thank you. That was great, guys. Thanks so much.
Thanks.
So now we're going to take a quick commercial break, but there'll be more of this later, so stick around.
Watching the ultimate sports show on WolvTV. Don't change that dial.
They are just unbelievably talented.
I mean, I think we've been seeing these past few weeks is that we have a very rich music community in Ann Arbor, and I'm just excited that we can have them on our show.
We really do. I'm excited about it too, and they're going to play some more after. But first, remember you can always send us your stories at wolv.wuww.umich.edu or tweet us at Wake Up with Wolv.
Hope you enjoyed the show. I'm Ryan McDonough.
I'm Sarah Ponce.
You know, it's going to be a great day.
When you wake up with Wolv.
So Alex and Cody are perform again. Guys, take it away.
Hey, so this next song is a part of a project that me and Cody are working on with our friend Brent, who couldn't be here. We miss you, Brent. It's called Champagne. It's a different vibe than the other song we played, so I hope you like it. And look out for us around. Look out for us outside of Espresso Royale when it's nice. We'll be playing. Don't be afraid to come say hi and come jam with us if you play music. So, all right.
Bottle of tequila, I could be your Jose, you could be my Rose. All I need to know is that I'm yours, babe.
Popping like champagne, my girl is bubbly. You know I got to be with her, with her. Popping like champagne. I'm 2 bottles deep and she got me on my knees. On my knees. Hey, sipping from the bottle. Hop inside my car and grab the throttle. Living for tonight, forget tomorrow. So pop it and roll.
Yeah, wherever we go, we sippin' on bottles of Clico, a rosé, a Moet, whatever get them hoes wet. My flow moist, cruising in the Rolls Royce fast lane, sippin' on the
Poppin'
champagne.
like champagne. My girl is bubbly, know I got to be with her, with her. Poppin' like champagne. I'm 2 bottles deep and she got me on my knees. On my knees.
So when the cork busts, you best trust that she lick it up. So when the cork busts, you best trust that she lick it up. So when the cork busts, you best trust that she lick it up. So when the cork busts, you best trust that she lick it up. She lick it up, boom, boom,